Hey Dabbers, and welcome back to another Dab 2000 video and another X-Men 97 ranking. I am back again. Today I'm going to rank X-Men 97 characters. You probably saw by the thumbnail and the description, but I have 18 of these characters to rank. Now I'm not doing the cameo characters, I'm doing main characters that had like a story through this thing. So like, wait, before I start naming off cameos that aren't in it, spoiler warning, if you are planning on watching X-Men 97 or are in the middle of X-Men 97, click away, don't watch this video, give it a like though, and then click away, watch all of X-Men 97, come back to this video, and hear my ranking of all the characters and everything, but there's no gonna be Captain America, Spider-Man, Daredevil, Doctor Strange, Iron Man, Cloak and Dagger. Any of those characters are not going to be on this list because I know there's one character that does have like more talking than others, which is Captain America, but I don't consider him like a main character. Like, he's more of a cameo than a main character, so that's why I did not include him on this list. So with that out of the way, let's get started. Coming in at number 18, I have Forge. Now, he got introduced in episode 3. Episode 3 at the very end, that he could help Storm's powers. I don't like Forge that much. He's not on the team that much. He's literally there to have like a relationship with Storm. But other than that, I just don't like him. I don't think he's that interesting. He doesn't have that much story in this film. I mean, in this show, I don't think he has, like, the great scheme of a story or anything. So, yeah, I definitely think he's last.
Hello, Dad.
Hello.
Are you spoiling away?
I literally just said every single cameo in the show that wasn't going to be on my list.
Okay, well, I just wanted to say hi, Evers.
Yeah. He is still on episode 2.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Goodbye. I'm glad you didn't come down when I started naming cameos.
Yeah.
Because I named every single cameo in the show.
Yeah.
Which could have been bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is why Forge is at number 18.
Please subscribe, Dabbers.
Yeah, please subscribe. Alright, coming out at number 17, I have Alberto or Sunspot. So, this is our newest character to the X-Men thing. One of the newest characters. I did add the villains on this list, so that's why I said one of them. But, Sunspot, I think he needed more, like, story. Like, he does have, like, I'm new, my mom doesn't approve my powers, she doesn't know, everything like that. You have that, but I don't think it's the most interesting arc. I think they could have done a lot more with the character. So that's why he's like way low, because he doesn't have that much to do except save Jubilee when she's falling or anything. Alright, coming in at number 16, I have Morph. Now, he really is here for cameos. That's about it. Now, the cameos I named at the beginning, those are actually characters that come, but he shapeshifts into, like, a bunch of cameo characters, like Quicksilver, Hulk, Mr. Fantastic, just to name a few. So, yeah, I think he doesn't really have an arc. He's just there, I feel like, because he's there for cameos, and I think that's about it, because he doesn't really do anything else besides that. Alright, coming in at number 15, I have Bishop. Now, I think Bishop could have been way higher if he was more in the series. He's in the first 3 episodes, takes Nathan to the future to help him with his, like, disease spreading, and then comes in at the very end of episode 10 to help Forge find the X-Men that are scattered across time. So, I think his power set's cool. He gets shot, and then he shoots laser beams out of his hands, which is amazing, but yeah, other than that, he's fine. I mean, I think I would like him way more if he was more in the show. Alright, coming out at number 14, I have Jubilee. So, a lot of people said Jubilee was their least favorite character from like the original run, and she's fine here. I don't have like a huge problem with Jubilee. Sometimes she does get a little annoying, which is like the main problem with a lot of people is Jubilee's annoying and everything. I don't think she's that annoying, but she is a little annoying than most X-Men characters. Her power, she doesn't really like do anything great to the villain. Like when she's trying to defeat a villain, she literally just uses fireworks, and it's not that helpful. Except for the firework chainsaw thing, that does help. But other than that, she's just there. All right, coming out at number 13, I have Beast. Now, there's nothing really wrong with Beast. He, he's like the scientist of the team. He helps people with the problems they have, try to find cures, hijack sentinels, my bad, and stuff like that. He's just there for helping the X-Men out with their problems. And that's really about it. So, he has some funny lines and everything like that, but I don't know. He's just there. Alright, coming out at number 12, I have Mr. Sinister, one of our villains of the show. And I thought Mr. Sinister was going to be the main villain of this show, which wasn't. He was in episode 3, and then got introduced in episode, I think, 6, at the end of 6, and then 7, they transitioned to a different villain. So, I mean, he's fine. He's good. Good little, like, creepy villain here and there. But just because he wasn't, like, the main villain, he does get bumped back a little because he's not the main villain. But coming in at number 11 is Bastion, which is the main villain of the show. So, Bastion just missed the top 10 for me. But honestly, it's such a cool villain. I knew nothing about this character. I didn't even know who this character was, but he is very menacing. His powers are to manipulate machines. That's a cool power to have. And his scheme was really good, and I like how he tried to choose power over trying to live, and that's basically what a villainous thing would do. So it's just very cool, like a very cool, different villain, I feel like, because I knew nothing about him, and they surprised me of how they did him. Alright, we made it to the top 10. At number 10, I have Professor X. Now, Professor X is not really in the show until episode 6. So, yeah, I didn't like Professor X that much in that episode, but then once he lands on Earth in the first part of the tolerance of execution, I can't talk. I just filmed the episode ranking app before this, so back-to-back rankings and talking forever is a lot. But back to the ranking, Professor X is really good. I think his most standout moment that made him like into the top 10 is the finale with Magneto, and then they he uses his mind and they talk to each other in there. I think he really does stand out in the season finale more than like the whole show. So that's why he's in the top 10, because of how gripping his talk was with Magneto. Alright, coming out at number 9, I have Nightcrawler. He got introduced in episode 5, and he's still one of the best characters. I think his best scene was the mansion fight in episode 8 with Wolverine, and he has the 3 swords, 2 in his hand, and then 1 on his tail, which was amazing. One of the best fights of the show. And I just think he's such a good character. You don't get much of him in the show, but when you do get him, he is amazing at what he does. Alright, coming in at number 8, I have Storm. Now, I like Storm. I think her voice actor did an amazing job in this show. And, like, when she loses her powers, it is devastating to watch. But, like, she's not one of the top. It's because of the Life and Death Part 1, Part 2 story. I didn't think that was quite interesting and everything. But after that, she is awesome, and she's like goes full god mode, and like electrocutes Sentinels and everything. It is crazy, and she is definitely one of the best. Alright, coming out at number 7, I have Cable. Now, I didn't know Cable was in the show at all until episode 5, when he was trying to save Madeline Pryor. And it was just awesome. He's so cool. His relationship with Cyclops is some of the best relationship in the show. He has awesome action sequences, especially the one when Mr. Sinister takes over him and he tries to fight Jean Grey, which is amazing. It's just such a good fight. He's such a good character, and then the final moment with him talking to Cyclops at the table was just, in the finale, was just amazing. Alright, coming in at number 6, I have Wolverine. Now, if this was like the movies, Wolverine would be 1 because he's the standout. But what X-Men 97 does so good is that they don't pick one person to be the main focus. They have every single X-Men basically be the main focus of the show, which I think is just awesome. And that means Wolverine is at 6. He does get some great moments, some great action sequence, like him and Nightcrawler in the mansion scene I was just talking about is amazing. He has some best action. And then when he stabs Magneto in episode 9, and then he gets the adamantium ripped out of his body, it's just amazing to see. But like, he just gets some awesome scenes. He gets good one-liners and everything. And I like how he just not the main focus. He takes a step back and lets some other characters be the main focus, which I thought was awesome. Alright, coming out at number 5, I have Jean Grey. Now, she is really good, too, because there are 2 of her. There's Jean Grey and Madeline Pryor, which I combined them into one character, because it basically is because Madeline Pryor dies in episode 5, so you don't really get to see that much of her, so I'm just combining them both here. But her arc is really good. Just being so confusing about the whole situation was so confusing with these 2, but it makes it very interesting. And Madeline Pryor was also cool as the Goblin Queen and everything. And then she's her powers are cool. She gets great action sequences. She has the final talk with Cable, and Cable accepting Jean Grey, so it was just amazing. Alright, coming out at number 4, I have Gambit. R.I.P. Gambit. Gambit is one of the best characters in this show. He's only in half of this show. Not even half. He's only in 4 episodes, because he's not in the 4th episode. But his finale, his sacrifice is so powerful and meaningful. It's just so good. And I can't wait to see what they do with him in season 2, because Apocalypse is going to revive him and he's going to turn evil. I can't wait to see that happen, but I'm glad they kept him dead, because it just means his sacrifice wasn't for nothing, and he was just such a good character. Alright, coming at number 3, we made it to the top 3. At number 3, I have Rogue. Now, if you told me that my top 3 favorite characters and one of them is Rogue, I would not have believed you. Sorry. But she is that good. I think her story is really good. Her relationship, the relationship triangle with her, Magneto, and Gambit is amazing. And then her losing them both and then starting to pop off in episode 7. And it's just so good. Her speeches are really good. And then you have the finale where she punches Bastion and said his name was Gambit. Remember it. So powerful stuff, and she became one of my favorite characters of this show. Alright, coming out at number 2, I have Magneto. So, I did not expect Magneto to be this high up on the list, but he's just so good. You get to see him become good. He tried to hit Charles's way, be good, and the consequences happened. He gets captured by Bastion, and then he's like, no more. Turns evil, and then is going to destroy the human race and everything. And then he turns, And then you get the finale with him and Professor X talking to each other. It's just such powerful stuff there. And it's just so good. And then when he saves the entire human race at the finale was just amazing. But coming in at number 1, I have Cyclops. Now, I did not know Cyclops could be this good because all I saw was this wimpy Cyclops from the Fox films and everything. And I watched X-Men and Wolverine and the X-Men, and he's just wimpy. He's always wimpy. This show does not do this. He is the biggest standout of the show. You get his landing in episode 1, and you're like, oh yeah. And then he's quippy. He's amazing. He's kind of like Captain America mixed with Spider-Man in some way, and a little bit of Superman. He is the guy in this show. He has some powerful stuff with him and his son Cable at the finale, and then he does some great stuff in this show. Such powerful stuff in this, and I think Cyclops is just such a good character, so that's why he comes in at number 1. What do you guys think of my ranking? Down below in the comment section. And if you have seen X-Men 97, what is your top 3 favorite characters of the show? I would love to know. And I will check you guys on another Dab 2000 video and another ranking video. Goodbye, Dabbers.